We're situated about 8 miles west of New York City at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Today, Week 12 of the NFL season is upon us, and we've got a good one in store. As it'll be the Denver Broncos taking on the New York Jets. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing one interception. Didn't have a touchdown to offset it. But the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down. From the shotgun, May with it. He finds his man, complete. That's Graves. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
That's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 3.
Trying a little razzle-dazzle on 3rd and short. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play. It's 4th down.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by their 8th-year quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondary's taking...
And right away, he lost the football. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. On first down, it's Genty. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. To the air, May. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
From the shotgun, it's May. Working in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Jets are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
1st and goal at the 9-yard line.
A run out of the gun with Genty. Down at the 2. Broke through first contact, but ultimately stopped shy of the goal line.
At the 2-yard line. A gain of 7. Brings up 2nd.
And they'll run again. And this time he's in for a Jets touchdown. The try here for the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing to start the drive. Carson. Looking right sideline, that's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
1st and 10 at the 40.
On 1st down. And he loses the football a 2nd time. And it looks like one of the DBs has it. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. A run straight ahead with Genty. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line.
A gain of 19 yards. That's good for a Jet.
They'll throw with May. Over the middle, it's complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
First and 10 at the 15-yard line.
On the draw, here's Genty. They'll get him down after a pickup of 8, second and 2.
He was brought down by Drew Sanders. It's a gain of 8.
Once again, it's Genty. And he stopped immediately there. They need 2. Here's third down.
He was taken down behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard. Brings up third down and 2.
They'll try to run for it with Genty. They needed 2. They could only get 1. Fourth down.
The tackle made at the 6-yard line. It's a gain of a yard. Brings up
and his kick is indeed good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx it.
Looking to put a drive together. Throwing to start the drive. Carson. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Going up the gut with Ferguson. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down. The numbers on the ground for Ferguson last week. 16 carries, 65 yards.
It's been a strong season for him thus far, sitting currently 7th in the NFL in rushing. He gives their offense really good flexibility because if he's gashing a defense, they can ride him to an early lead. But if the defense sells out to stop him, that opens up their passing game.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 42. Looking to throw. Carson. That one taken in by Neighbors. Here's second and 5 now from the 37.
A gain of 5 brings up second and 5 at the 37.
Back to throw. Carson. That's complete. It's Neighbors. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up third and 2.
Ferguson on third and short. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield.
It's a loss of 2 yards. Brings up.
He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. And this will do the job nicely as that'll be out of bounds just inside the 10-yard line. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Play action. May. A quick throw there is incomplete. Now a second and 10.
Second and 10.
Off the play fake. Here's May. They'll get this out to Genty. Look at a juke. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds.
A gain of 19 yards. And the Jets first down.
On the give, Genty. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage.
He's tackled at the 29.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a second and 9.
Brings up second and 9.
From the gun, it's May. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
It's now third down and 9.
They're going to throw. May. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So a first and 10 now in Denver territory at the 49-yard line. Up the middle, it's Genty. 43 yards rushing for him now in the ballgame. From the 43, here's a second down and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up second and 4.
They'll go again with Genty. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. 14 yards is the pickup there, and a Jet first down.
Jets first down. First and 10 at the 29-yard line.
A give out of the gun to Genty. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Over the middle, complete. That's Graves. The Jets on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
3rd and 5.
Here's May. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Incomplete. He was covered by Drew Sanders.
And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps. And the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
Looking to put a drive together. Throwing to start the drive. Carson over the middle, taken in by Neighbors. And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
Ferguson up the middle. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Here is 3rd and 5.
It's a loss of a yard. And it's 3rd down.
Looking to throw. Carson. He had him there open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Shifts by him. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Jets will take over. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here.
At the 39-yard line.
To throw, it's May. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down. Throwing here is May. They'll try and set up the screen to Genty. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. Here's the Jets punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And that will come the offense as they take over. They start out with a run by Ferguson. And he'll be dropped at the 36. It's a good gain of 18 on a play that originated back at the 18.
A gain of 18 on the play.
On 1st again, they go with Ferguson. And oh my goodness, he loses it again. But it looks like one of the DBs has it.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys have to touch the ball and carry it. They're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
So here are the Jets now to take over. They were winners last week over Tennessee, and they've got the lead here as well. They start this drive out 1st and 10. Now a handoff to Genty. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
7-yard line. 1-yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9.
Back to throw here. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the 1st down. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. They'll go. Here's Genty. And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. Looking to put a drive together. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Found a little room there as he's out to about the 37. So from the 37, here's a 2nd and 4.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 37-yard line.
Right back to Ferguson. That's a good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. 40 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Running left, this is Ferguson. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And that'll be incomplete.
Had an open man that time and ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now this is going to work out well as it's out of bounds near the 13-yard line. The Jets offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And he has been a big component of the passing game so far. You see the numbers for this first half. This defense is going to need to find some way to key in on him because he is eating them up right now. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10.
On the give, Genty. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. They'll look to throw here. That is caught. And he is going to have the Jets first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage.
Back at the 32.
They'll throw now on the final play. And his throw is incomplete. So halftime over, no problem with us. We skip right to the 3rd quarter and continue this midseason contest. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. By no means certainly are they out of this contest. 2-score game start of the 3rd quarter, but you feel like if they don't get points and then they give up points, then it can become a slippery slope. This feels like an important possession.
Yeah, and that slope becomes even more slick if you come away empty-handed on this drive, because then you give them a chance to extend their lead. You need some kind of points here, even if it's just a field goal. It's what I call one of those calming drives, trying to slow things down a little bit.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
A gain of a yard brings up 3rd and 5.
From the gun on 3rd down. Carson, he's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give him a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Well, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10.
At the 26-yard line.
Off the bootleg. Carson firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Brings up second and
Ferguson from the shotgun handoff. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
he was taken down at the 22-yard line. It's a gain of a yard. And it's
Out of the gun now on third down. And he fires one, but incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And his kick is good. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. Looking to put a drive together. The drive will begin with a run by Genty. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. A 4-receiver look here. 3 out to the left, 1 to the right on 2nd and 8. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down.
brings up third down.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. They're going to look to throw. And that will be incomplete. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Here's the Jets punter now as he's on to kick it away. Yards on the punt there. And they will take over first and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
Running again, and again it's Ferguson. And he's going to have the Broncos first down as the tackle made at about the 43-yard line.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
That run's successful in large part because they had a lot of extra help blocking up front.
Yeah, you've got guys who can do that very, very well. In addition, they can catch the football. So sometimes when they line up with 3 tight ends, it's not necessarily to run it, and that gives you an advantage when you do decide to barrel off the line of scrimmage and block people downfield.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Back to throw. Carson. Wide open receiver complete. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 26. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
And that's one of the better plays we've seen this offense put together so far. They haven't been able to get on track much at all. But listen, they're only down a couple of scores with the rest of this quarter, and the entire fourth remaining. So, stranger things have happened.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 26.
Looking to throw. Carson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
First and goal, Denver.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try to run down here with Ferguson. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. A great effort there. His 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Broncos are back within a score. And that touchdown's going to put him in double digits now for the year. It's his 10th rushing touchdown of the campaign. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And the lead down to 3 at 13-10. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Still 9 yards to go on 2nd down from the 27.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Back to throw. He finds his man complete. It's Graves. He'll be hit down at the 33. 5 yards on the play.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he is going to have a Jets first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A run straight ahead with Genty. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 37-yard line.
Looking to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. That's complete. Genty out of the backfield. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
10 more yards. Complete to Ashton Genty.
May going to bat this one forward. He's into space past the 25. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. On 1st down, it's Genty. He's down inside the 10 to the 8. And it comes on a gain of 8. Ball at the 8 here for 2nd and a yard. Maybe a touch less. On the draw, here's Genty. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. This is caught. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal.
A gain of 3 brings up 2nd and goal at the 3-yard line.
Genty will struggle to get to the line of scrimmage as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Lost a yard. It's now 3rd and goal.
To the air, May. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. With his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Jets are able to build on to their fourth quarter lead. Well, that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a 2-score game here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
Broncos 10.
The Jets kick team out now to boot this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And coming out now, the Broncos. Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be second down.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4. At the 32-yard line.
Back to throw. Carson. He finds his man. Complete. It's Ferguson. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
First down. 1st and 10.
Throwing up the gut with Ferguson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame whooping has turned into results.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Looking to throw. Carson. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll give the Broncos a first down.
First down, Denver.
On the handoff, this is Ferguson. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Carson. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to walk one deep left side here. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Malik Neighbors. He has career touchdown number 78, tying him with both Eddie George and Frank Gifford on the all-time list. And the Broncos have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. Point after, right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter.
17.
The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. I don't want to say that they're completely against the wall here, Charles, but all of a sudden, with the run that they've been on the other sideline, this is down to a 3-point game. They got to be careful.
Not much space from their back to the wall then. So you're exactly right. They've got to be careful here. But this is where the value of note-taking and recall comes into play. What was working earlier? Why was it working? Can you get those types of matchups again? And can you run those plays that'll get you a little bit more breathing room and a little bit of space?
He's tackled at the 34-yard line.
They'll try to run for it with Genty. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
Oh, what a great job defensively to stack things up. They were committed to stopping the run. They knew it was coming. And now it looks like they should get the football back as they force an important 3-and-out.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Broncos offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. Denver offense at the line ready to go. And you sense the tide turning. They scored, then their defense forced the punt, and now a chance to ultimately take the lead here late. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd and 4. Stretch play left with Ferguson. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
And it's 3rd down.
Looking to throw. Carson. Now he'll tuck this and run. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. 1st down, 18-yard gain.
On the play. 1st down, Broncos.
Oh, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. Out of the gun, here's Ferguson. Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll look to throw. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it'll be a turnover on downs. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
We got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. That one looks like he'll throw here. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 8 yards to go.
They'll throw with May. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts. This time on 3rd down.
Here's the Jets punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. Fair catch signal for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. The Broncos offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. Back to throw. Now he's going to step up and run. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Here comes 2nd down and 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
He's back to throw. And his throw here is incomplete.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here. Back to throw. The short one there taken in by Ferguson. And he's going to get out of bounds with the first down, so that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the first and save a timeout. Ferguson up the middle. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Well, this offense still has the one timeout here, remember. 1st and 10.
A gain of 5.
They'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to potentially send us to overtime. And this one is right through. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So in the final minute, they turn it over to their kicker to get him back to even, and he does not disappoint.
Brandon, do you think the pressure ever gets to this guy? Because I sure don't. That was pretty smooth right there. But I tell you, he better not rest on his laurels, because there's a good chance they may need him again if this game goes to overtime.
This is 1st and 10.
25-yard line.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Final whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
60 minutes, just not enough some days to decide who's going to win the game.
And here in overtime, a quick reminder, the game no longer ends following an offensive touchdown on the opening drive. Both sides will have the chance to possess the ball unless there's a defensive touchdown. In that case, the game will end right there. So it's the Broncos who are going to get the first shot at things. They'll have it here as we start in overtime. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They have fought hard to reach this point. They've got the ball first. Remember, though, even if they score, it would quiet this crowd, but it doesn't end the game. But a chance to put a solid drive together here and at least get 3 and hopefully for them a touchdown. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that'll make it 2nd down.
A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 26-yard line.
They'll hand it off to Ferguson. And he'll take this up to the 30, a gain of 4. They need 5 yards on 3rd down here to keep this opening drive of OT alive. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he will have a Broncos first down. He needed 5, he got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards. He has now hit number 500. Charles, that is his 500th NFL career catch.
Definitely worthy of applause, but I remember when 500 meant you were going to the Hall of Fame. Nowadays, in today's football, 500 puts you on the path, a significant number.
We'll play only the one overtime here. If time runs out, it'll be a tie as they come up on 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Carson. A short one there taken in by Ferguson. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
5-yard pickup on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Off the play fake, Carson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
First down. It's a gain of 6. First down, Broncos.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Ferguson on the draw. And he stopped immediately there. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on second down and 11. Back to throw. Carson. To the sideline and incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
The Broncos send out their punter now. On for a very important punt here in overtime. Dances by him. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Jets will take over first and 10. The New York set to take the field. Well, their defense did the job, got off the field without giving up any points. And now, Charles, all they need here is a field goal, and they get the victory.
Yeah, and this is the way I love overtime. I'm one of those really, really old school guys that like sudden death right from the beginning. But we've got it now because any points wins the game. On defense, get a safety, a pick six, fumble return, you can win it as well. So I'm really looking forward to this series and see how both sides play.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49.
First down. First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Up the middle, it's Jensen. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. Next score wins, but remember, this will be a tie if the period ends with no scoring as they work on second down. And he'll be brought down at about the 42.
He's brought down at the 42-yard line.
2 yards still to go. Third down now.
Brings up third and 2.
Now a handoff to Genty. And I don't think he got there. No, they stop him right where it all started. You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Denver's offense now set to go. Well, this is a pretty rare situation here, Charles. You get into overtime, neither team coming through with even a field goal on their first drive. So now, sudden death with the time remaining. Next score wins.
And now I would say that going at it might be a little bit easier for both teams now because they've eased into overtime. That's pretty serious, boy. Everything on the line then. Now you've seen what a defense is throwing at you. You can make some adjustments, and all you need is 3 points to win it.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 15. Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Here's a 2nd and 8. They'll run with Ferguson. And this is not going to be what they need. They get a few here, but now third down as the clock runs. Now a timeout called for by the offense. It'll be their second and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. From the gun on third down, Carson. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
And this defense definitely in his head there on third down, and he's pretty fortunate. They didn't call for grounding on this one. That was a good 10 feet over everyone's head.
They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
From the gun, it's May. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Now we're going to get a timeout with 5 seconds left here in overtime.
There it is, a staple of most teams' playbooks, the angle route. A lot of times you want to take away that inside route by a back, but when they sell it like he's going to the flat, that is tough on inside linebackers. One false step, and that ball's completed.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
It's 2nd down and 10.
We're going to throw. May. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Well, Charles.